Welcome to the session 3. In the first session, we have discussed about the what are the syllabus available in the storage area network. So we discussed what do you mean by a storage system. Okay, that is the first module we are going to discuss, and the second is storage network and technologies, and the third one is we discussed about the backup virtualization, backup, archive and replications, and the fourth one is cloud computing characteristics and benefits, and fifth one is security and management storages infrastructure. So these are the concepts we have studied. We are going to study in storage area network. That's what we have discussed in the first section. In the second section, we have slowly started with the first module by the name called storage systems. Okay, in that storage systems, we have come across by understanding what do you mean by informations. Okay, information is nothing but the main important parameters which is required by the users, which is extracted from the data, and we understand what do you mean by data in the second section. So data is nothing but a row of informations present in the real world. Okay, and that data is generated by the user and as well as the business people. So our subjects wants to deal how actually the data is being stored in the storage devices. That's what we have to discuss in this subject. So, and we told that the data is can be classified into two types. One is a structured data and unstructured data. So whenever we are going to store the data in a structured fashion, which uses by the DBMS, it's called as structured data in the rows and columns by using a software called DBMS. It is called as a structured data. In some cases, all the data cannot be stored in rows and columns. So it may not be having in a structured fashion. At that cases, such data has to be retrieved with a meaningful way by using different techniques, something called data analytics and data science and all. So to deal with that large number of data, which includes both structured and unstructured data, we go for a big data analytics. That's what we have discussed in one part of information in the first part as a data. The second part we discussed about the evolution of storage architectures. So I told that the storage architectures can be evaluated, that means stored in the form of two fashions, as I was giving the example that each department is having their own server centers. Server centers means storage devices. So if you want to get the informations, we are extracting the informations in that data center itself. So in some cases, such center is called as server based data centers, which is called as a client server fashion. It works as a client server fashions, but it's having a limitations. To overcome that, we have a information centric server we have maintained. Information centric storage architectures we have discussed. Information centric storage architecture means like storages is done in a raw array of servers, and array of servers, each data is connected to the network, and each department, if they want informations from the server, he has to check in a centralized server, which is nothing but an information server, and we are extracting the information. Such type of architecture, okay, storage architecture is called as an infrastructure architectures. That's what the second concepts we have discussed in the previous section. And the third section we come across with respect to data centers. So that means these data which we are storing in the department, okay, will be stored in a air cool conditions for the server maintenance. Let us discuss now by individual parameters. Okay, individual parameters what we have listed out here. So data center is nothing but it is a process of storing the data and retrieving the data from host till the storage centers or disks. So how do you define a data center? data center is nothing but a storing the, it's a data flow from the application till the storage is called as a data centers. Okay, that is the definition of data centers. As I was mentioned that the components of data centers environments are application, DBMS, host, connectivity and storages. Let us understand what do you mean by applications. Clearly we are defining what do you mean by applications. So applications, as you people have come across, any things which we do it in the computer is done with the app, right? So that means application has to be app should be installed, and then from that we are using it. App is nothing but a set of program to perform some logical computing operations. So here in these data centers, application is a piece of software or a set of logical machine which is used for connecting between the host as well as the users. Okay, host as well as the user. Host means a computer. Whenever we want to interact with the computer, we are interacting with the computer through the apps itself. That means user has to use the applications for interacting with the computers. That is one thing. The second thing is, so whenever we performing an applications, this application has to use some has to take the input from the user, and it has to given to the operating systems. Okay, and it has to be given to the operating systems. So before that, let us analyze what are the different types of software or applications which is used in the data centers. The first application is business applications. That means whenever we talk about any things, okay, any things in the data centers, we need to work along with the business perspective itself. That means each businesses will have its own server in it. Okay, whenever, like for example, MITM is one of the organization. Each organization has their own websites. So that means websites means it's having some storage element in it. Okay, website is a browser which we are accessing the data, but actually we are storing some data in the server and we are extracting it. Similarly, mall. Okay, malls will have different types of databases. So like for example, each companies in the malls will have their own servers, and they are having own websites. So for each accessing those to accessing the particular server, we need to have a business applications. Along with that, we have something like infrastructure management applications. What do you mean by that? That means whenever we are dealing with the large scale computing like data centers and all, that means different types of storage devices are there, and intermediate devices are there like routers, gateways and host machines like that, and the host is requesting to the data center for the data to be extracted. There are different infrastructures are there. So for each infrastructure we need to have some software, that is monitoring software, whether the data is accessing from a particular server or not will be known through the infrastructure management applications. This is one of the software. So along with that, since we are dealing with the network of computers and different types of devices to extract the informations, we need to have some data protection applications. Data protection applications. That means some users may extract, some unauthorized users may access our data. To protect that, we need to have some data protection applications, where it will give the access for the privileges customers itself. For example, here in MITM, people only the students in the MITM can only access the internet in the department. That means, as you know that each students will be given so user name and the password. If he log in his own username and password itself, he can available of accessing the internet in the MITM. Similarly, so each users which wants to access the data centers data should be comes under the data protection application only, and then he has to access it. Along with that, some security features also will be added to the data applications. So we are adding some application software along with that, because sometimes some data may be hacked by the different people, okay, for their benefits. At that cases, we need to install some security applications also. So let us give an example what are the different types of applications. This is a higher end mentioning of the applications, like every people who are accessing the data centers should uses the data centers along with the logical machines, logical piece of software, something like business applications and infrastructure management applications, data protection applications, security and all. Now let us give the example of what are the different types of applications we are going to use it. As I was telling that each students in the MITM will have username and password to access the internet. Similarly, each people who in that organization will have the email ID to access the data centers. This is one of the example. Another one is enterprises resource planning. This is the second example. Infrastructure management applications is also called as ERP, enterprises resource planning. Okay, that is one of the software we are using for maintaining the infrastructures. That means in some infrastructures may be utilized by the another infrastructures. Sometimes some people need a high accessing of the data, immediately they need a data. Some people may not have that much importance. So at that cases, the enterprises resource management resource planning software will plans to whom to give a more speed of data to be accessed, like that. So along with that, we have something called data protection applications. So backup is one of the example for data protection applications. So whenever we perform any operations in the organizations, the data will be generated, the data will be stored in the data centers. The data centers may be corrupted in some cases. At that cases, every day each organizations will generate the backups for the next planning of the business. So that will be done by data protection applications. So the next one is antivirus. Okay, antivirus. This is you people know that antivirus is a software which will be installed in our computer to protect unrelevant informations. So it acts like a scanner. Whenever we are performing any operations in the computers, we protect some of the information extractions. Okay, that will be done by the antivirus, because since we are dealing with the large scale applications in the data centers with and it will be used for the business purposes. So antivirus plays the major role, and it acts like a filter for accessing the only required informations. This is one of the concepts regarding what do you mean by applications. That's what we have. This is one of the topic. And second topic is databases. As you people have come across in the previous semester, what do you mean by database and all. So database is nothing but a software. Okay, DBMS is a software it's a management system. Okay, database management systems. It is used for storing the data in the rows and columns, and it is used for accessing the data in the rows and columns, right? So that is nothing but things. Okay, how these DBMS is used in the data centers, that one we have to discuss in this data center environment. So in data center environment, the DBMS is used for storing the input to the data centers, storing the input to the data center in the sense that, so assume that the application which is given, okay, which is extracted by the application softwares has to be arranged in a particular fashion. So that means the operating system, the DBMS is work along with the operating systems in the host machine for storing the data in a relevant fashions. Okay, that means the storing of a data in a logical fashion, the DBMS is used. Okay, as we told that. That means whenever we are extracting the data, it is used for retrieve. So DBMS is a process in the applications which is request for the data. If the people wants to access the data from the server, we use a databases, and it is used for searching the operations. It's not only that, it will instruct to the operating systems to transfer a data. It is used for, it will instruct the operating system for transferring the data, and it's also used for retrieving the data in a particular position. So okay, this is one of the things. That means database is a software which is used for requesting the data to store in the particular machine, arrangements, and it is also instruct the operating system to transfer the data, and it is also used for retrieving the data which is stored in the databases. Now let us understand what do you mean by host. As I was telling that host is nothing but a computer. Okay, from the client side, host is nothing but a computer from the client side, where and it is also called as server. In some cases we need to access the data from the client, or else we are providing the data from the host machine itself. Instead of directly extracting from the data centers, the data centers which we are extracting, it will be stored in some server, and if you want to provide that information to the another machine, we need to use a client machines. Like host can be called as both server as client. Okay, usually this host is used by the users. Okay, for example, and these host machines are the physical machines, or in some cases sometimes we are calling as a virtual machines. That means, so we are just using a ThinkPad, so we are not using a computing higher end computing process, high end hard disk like that. Some virtual machines we are using it, machines we are using it, or else normal physical machines we are using. That means we are using just a ThinkPad, that means a desktop, but initially the hard disk and computing power, memory and all, it stores in the data centers. We are hiring the infrastructures for extracting the informations. That is also called as a host machines. So the simple example of the host machine is called as desktop computers, or it may be a laptops, or it may be our smartphones. So in these host machines we are having different types of things. One, something like an operating systems. So operating system will be acting like a manager between the user as well as the computer hardware. So that means whenever we want to perform any operations in the computers, that computers requires a operating system. That means operating system is a management system. Okay, operating system is a management systems. What type of management it will do? It will do the management of all the applications which we are using it, and it will use the management of computer hardware. So that means it will take the input from the user and it will provide the information to the hardware components what task has to be done it. So by using those things, the operating system will be act like a monitoring tool. Okay, that means whatever the operations we want to do it from the users will be done by the operating system itself. That means if the user wants to store the data in the data centers, so we use to give the input through the applications. That application will be interacting with the operating system. Operating system in turn will be interacting with the data centers for storing the information. That means writing the informations. And similarly, if you want to access the information to the user, we need to interact with the application itself for extracting the informations which is stored in the data centers. So in that cases, the operating system plays the major role. It's not only that, so it also controls, it also organizes and controls the computer hardware available in the host machines for performing the management operations. So it's not only that, it's not only managing the computer hardware, it is also allocate the hardware resources for the users for performing the operation. As I was telling that virtualization, virtual machine is one of the computer is also called as a host machines. If you want to perform a virtual machine, these virtual machines will be done through the operating system itself. That means it will manages the computer hardware resources. So it's not only that, it will also used to access the data from the databases in a secured fashion. As I was telling that it uses different security applications for accessing the things, right? So that security applications will be stored in the interacting with the operating systems for checking whether the data is secured data or not. Okay, so not only that, it also manages the logical volume managers, and also it manages the file management systems. The operating systems will be act like a manager between the user as well as the computer hardware or the computer resources which we are using in the data centers for interacting with the computing operations. That is one thing. The next thing, we need to understand what do you mean by memory virtualization. So as I was telling that memory virtualization, the word concept of virtualization is nothing but a abstract or a copy, okay, or a copy of the physical machine, copy of the physical components, copy of the physical components. That means a virtual or abstract data will be stored. For example, we have a one computing devices, okay, which performs the computation operations. So we have a different types of informations, okay, like this, okay, a copy of or abstract of the same computers which we are using will be stored it. That means, so the data which is stored here will be a actual data, okay. Here the address of the data is stored, okay, the address of the data is stored, so that if you are performing any operations, okay, in the host machine requires the data of this copy will be accessed through this address itself. That means whenever we are accessing any data, the data will be accessed to the computer by using the virtualized memory itself. That means for example, here we are using a RAM, okay. So RAM is the memory of real thing. This virtual RAM will be having a copy of that address, which we call it as which will be stored in the form of logical organization, and we call it as a paging, okay. So this paging, that means a arranging of logical address in the places, okay, arranging of a logical address in the places whenever the host machines requires the real RAM copy. So that will be having a copy of address and it will be accessed through it. Such concept is called as virtualized memory. So that is one thing. If you are performing some operations by using virtual memory, we can increase the operation something like virtual machines, okay. That means virtual machines can be generated. Instead of having a real machine, we can have a virtual machine by using these concepts. So that is one thing. And if you are and the performance of the each components will be increased if you are accessing the data. This is one thing. Next let us understand what do you mean by device drivers. So as I was telling that in the beginning itself, whenever we are accessing in the infrastructure, data center infrastructures, each data center infrastructures is accessed along with the different types of devices or different types of network devices. It's not only network devices, so it many protocols we are using, okay, many protocols we are using. So let us understand what do you mean by device drivers. Device driver is a special software, okay. So which is installed in the operating system. In the operating system itself we have a device drivers. It is the intermediate between the operating system as well as the computer hardware. If you want to install any hardware components and if you want to connect any hardware component to the operating systems, we need to install the device drivers softwares. These device driver softwares will used for recognition purpose. It's not recognition purpose. That means if new devices is installed in the computers, that new devices has to recognize by the operating systems. Then only it can be allow us to access the informations. And each device drivers which is installed in the operating system is operating system specific. So operating system specific. For example, our Windows operating systems will recognize our pen drive in the form of some hardware components, okay. Similarly, if a Linux operating system, Linux is one of the operating systems, will be recognizing our pen drive as a files instead of recognizing as a devices. Like that, depends upon the operating system which we are using, the device drivers is varied. This is one thing. Next, let us discuss what do you mean by logical volume manager. Let us discuss what do you mean by logical volume manager. As I was telling that whenever we are accessing any informations in the operating systems, any information in the computers, all the computers are stored in the form of files. Okay, all the information are stored in the form of files. Okay, those files has to maintain some logical volume manager. Okay, has to maintain some software by the name called logical volume manager. Logical volume manager is a software. It is a software which runs in every host machine. Host machine means a computer. Every computer, this logical volume manager has to maintain whenever we are accessing the information from the data centers. So whenever we are running the logical volume manager, these logical volume managers will manage the physical storages. Okay, it's not only manage the physical storage in the sense that, so as I was giving the example, whenever we are talking about the virtualization, the each physical machines will be stored in the form of logical address. Along with the logical address, it stores the device storage places where it is storage. Like that, the information which is stored in the host machines, data centers, is been accessed to the logical volume managers. These if you are accessing this type of accessing the data by using a logical volume managers, it is having some advantages. That means it optimizes the data access. It optimizes the data access. That means whenever we are accessing the data, it not effects for the regular operating of a data centers. It's accessing only through the address, so that so many number of users can access the data. And it's also used as a simplified storage management. Instead of storing the data in the disk in a random fashion, it will be arranged the data in a logical fashion. That means each data which is stored in the form of physical volumes, and it will be stored in the form of volume group, and it is stored in the form of logical volumes. That means it's not, we divide the data storing in the disks into a logical fashion. Okay, and physical storages also will be done according to the planning of logical fashions. So that will be managed by the logical volume managers. Okay, and in some cases, some people wants to hide the informations of the physical storage informations. So that will be done by the logical volume managers. That means for the end users, they will access the data and they may not bother about how the data is been stored in the disks. It's a responsibility of logical volume manager to store the data optimally, depends upon the requirements. And whenever we are storing the data in the logical volume managers, these logical volume managers is maintained by through softwares, how the data is been stored optimally, and it is maintained by the administrators. Administrators will come to know that how the data will be done. And also we can use this logical volume manager as an extension of the file systems. That means instead of just storing the physical files as it is, say just one more copy of the information about the file is placed, and through the copy of the file itself we can extract the informations. Like that, the main components of logical volume managers can be divided into three groups. One is a physical volume. So that means actual informations, okay, actual file information connected to the host will be looked in terms of physical volume. That means, for example, each host machine, okay, will be having the physical volume. So each physical volume will be having a databases. So it tells that how many number of files has been connected, how many number of people are connected to this host machines, like that. So that means physical volume, this is a part of logical volume manager. This is one of the part of logical volume manager. It refers to the connection of disks. Okay, it refers to the connection of disk, how many number of connection of disks is been physical connection of disk is been connected. Okay, that will be calculated by the physical volume. And the second type of volume is volume groups. That means instead, as I was telling that whenever we are connecting any disks in the host machines, each host machines will be connecting to the different types of disks. So it's having some informations in the logical volume managers. These logical volume managers, for example, number of physical volume, the more number of physical volume is called as a volume groups. That means we are grouping the different types of physical volume, and we call it as a volume group, because in some cases whenever we are dealing with the different types of files, a large number of different files, so we are not dealing with the single physical volume managers. So physical volume, we have to deal with the different types of physical volumes, different types of physical volumes. In these different types of physical volumes, each different types of physical volume will be given as group ID. Okay, so volume group IDs, this is one volume group ID and another volume group ID, like that different types of group IDs will be placed. Okay, and the third type of parameters which is present in the logical volume manager is logical volumes. Okay, this is the logical volume. This, as the name indicates, that it is nothing but the abstract or partition within the volume groups. It is a partition of volume groups. That means whenever we are talking about what is the difference between the volume group as well as the logic groups, let us take the disks. Okay, disk like this is one different types of disk, disk 1, disk 2, disk 3 and disk 4. So this is an array of disk. Okay, this disk is nothing but a volume groups. That means a group of disk will be arranged. Okay, so logic volume means like each disk which is placed will be divided into physical group. Okay, the physical logical groups. This is one of the disk and parameters which we are using it. So such type of divisions is called as logical volume. Like that we can each host machine will be installed with the piece of software. Okay, piece of software, it is nothing but a software, like how we are using the file systems in the normal computer. Like that each data center host machines, each data center's host machines will be having a logical volume manager. Logical volume manager is a software which contains the parameters something like physical volumes. So that means it is nothing but the connection of disks present in the physical volume, as well as we have something called group volume group. It's a set of more than one physical volume groups, and it will looks like this. So and each volume group will be given as ID for identifying the which physical devices, like that. And we have something called a logical volume. Logical volume is nothing but the partition of volume groups. That means it looks like this. Each disk will be taken as one volume groups, and it is physically divided and logically divided into different groups and looks like this. So by performing such type of operations, we can divide the logical volume managers into different partitions. Okay, we can differently classify the logical volume into two groups. One is a partitioning of the interaction between the host machine as well as the physical volume. Another one is concentration. What do you mean by that? That as I was telling that this is something like a host machine. Let us look, this is a host. Okay, each host machine will be connected along with the logical volumes. So each host machines, okay, this is the host machine, each host machines will be connected with the logical volumes, and each logical volumes will be connected to the physical volumes. That means physical volumes. Okay, physical volume means actual disk which is having. Okay, this is the physical disk which we have it. This physical disk can be arranged the data into a partitioning data and concentrate data. Partitioning data means a large number of disks. Okay, large number of disk is divided into a small piece of disk, and then we are accessing the informations. Okay, so that is called as a partitioning the disk and accessing the informations through the logical volume manager. The logical volume managers will be divided into partition logic volume manager and concentrate logic volume managers. The word concentration indicates that a small piece of disks which is present. Okay, small piece of disks, small disk will be integrated. Small volume of disk is integrated, and then we are accessing the informations. Such information is called as concentration logical volume manager. Okay, whenever we performing such type of operations, so we can improve the utilization of disks, in the data centers. That means we can increase it, and also we can performs the larger capacity of disk. That means larger users can access the disk operations if you are performing such type of operations. That means we can perform the partitioning of logical volume, and we can utilize the disk manager, or we are concentrating the disk into a single integrated and we are accessing it. Through that we can improve the disk performance as well as increasing the users performance. This is one parameters. So next let us discuss what do you mean by file systems. As I was telling that file system is nothing but a arranging of our information in a logical fashion. Okay, arranging the information in the logical fashion. So let us discuss this concept in the next section. Thank you for listening.